check, check, check. All right, there we go. We should have some sound now, y'all. There we go. Okay, yeah, I know y'all can hear me on the IG. It's the YouTube. All right, it's the YouTube. Want to make sure y'all can hear me now. All right, there we go. There we go. Yeah, I know this thing it's been tripping. My webcam been like taking over the microphone part and everything. So I have to remember to make sure I switch it over and all of that. But we here, y'all, party people. All right. Yeah. I'm telling you, oh man, why my head so hot? I got that on. I got this on. I gotta take some of this semi-winter gear off because it was hot today. It was like 70 some yard degrees. And all right, my man. Thank you, Caprentice. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that and everything. So we are good. We got our sound popping and everything. Feel free to like, share, and everything. We are up in here now. This here is gonna be I think it's gonna be a special Fritter Friday because this Fritter Friday, it's about you and you. This is all about y'all. This is what I want to do today on IG and on StreamYard here with me on YouTube. And let me hop over here on because I think I'm streaming on Facebook at the same time too. What I want to hear from y'all today. None of this chit chat stuff. I want y'all to hop on and I want to hear how things have been popping for y'all. I want to hear some good reports about what y'all been doing in the notary business. I want to hear the success stories of you because I know y'all been doing good. I know some people been calling me and letting me know, but I want to hear from you. Okay. I want to hear from you. So I just put the link in the chat. All right. I put the link in the chat for StreamYard on YouTube. So you can hop on there. I think you might be able to see it on Facebook and everything. So and then you can hop on and let the people know, hey, this is a great Friday, end of the year. What's been going on with you? How things have been coming along. Even if you got a struggle that you're trying to deal with, I think this is a great time to just hear from the people because y'all know I'm all about the people. All right. I'm all about you because if you are doing good, then the I'm about to say the ministry, the notary business is doing good. So I just want to hear from y'all. Hop on and share your success, what y'all been doing and everything. And and I'm perfect. I'm okay, yeah, you should have some sound now over there on Facebook. Okay, not on Facebook. Y'all got some sound now. So, yeah, got that turned off. All right. So, people still bugging me about some stuff. All right. So, what do we got going on? Come on now. Come on. I know somebody. Come on now. Y'all can't be all, oh, why y'all always acting shy? Okay. You ain't even got to turn the camera on. Okay. You can put your hand up in front of the camera. You can do that. I just want to hear from y'all because people want to hear from you about what's going on because people need encouragement. And y'all know I do everything I can to encourage you, but sometimes we also need to hear from our compadres. All right. Which company is BOOOOM? BOOOOM is just, hey, today's Fritter Friday. We got it popping. I got, look, you know what? I was going to say this for later. But now, of course, y'all always know during this time of year, I got my eggnog. I got my eggnog popping. I haven't even opened it yet. I mean, that's how excited I am because I got a phone call this week, y'all. And I got a phone call from an old partner of mine said they was in town. I was like, yo, you back? They were like, yeah, man, I'm back. I was out for a little bit, but I'm back. And y'all see what I got. Fritter Friday, y'all. The Fritters are back at Dunkin' Donuts. Old boy called me up here like, yo, man, you still doing Fritter Friday? I like, yeah, Chief, I'm doing it. He like, yo, let me slide on up in there and talk to the people. I'm like, all right, man, it's all yours. So Fritter Friday is back, y'all, in full effect. I went over there earlier this week to just grab a quick donut because I hadn't had anything to eat. And I saw this one donut fritter, and it was a little table they had, and that bad boy was sort of like halfway hanging on. And I was like, yo, was that a fritter? They was like, yeah, they back. I was like, give it to me. And then today, when I rolled up in there, I rolled up in there hard. I still have clothes from just waking up. I rolled up in there. They had 4 of them. I said, give me them fritters. The lady was like, huh? I'm like, you heard me. Give me the fritters, all of them. You talking about all of them? I like, yeah. And she was like, man, I was going to get one. Too bad, baby girl. Griff got them now. So Fritter Friday is back in full effect. Got the fritter, got the eggnog, and we're gonna be popping, y'all. So I know y'all got some questions, y'all got some ideas, maybe some concerns, all of that. Oh, snap, we got my lady on up in here. Snap.
Good evening.
All right. Hold on. Let me make sure I can hear you. Hold on. Let me change my microphone over to the right one. All right. I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
What's going on, lady?
Oh, it has been a week. Okay, so I hit a monumental aspect. Can you hear me?
There we go. I had my head plugs thing. Okay, now I can hear you. There we go.
I hit a milestone this week. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
I am open in more states than notarized.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
they're in 23 and I'm in 24.
Man.
Yep.
So all this here pumping this thing with notarized, and they're not even in all 50 states.
Nope.
See, I didn't know that because everybody was like, yes, notarized with SnapDocs and notarized is popping and notarized. And I was like, okay, I guess notarized got it. So the only people, because I know Doc verifies in all 50.
To an extent.
Yeah.
I mean, for instance, I can't open for like California notaries because California doesn't acknowledge electronic notarization or electronic signatures at all.
Okay.
So no one can claim California right now, basically.
Gotcha.
But I have to work one state by one state, and I have officially hit that next mark. I am one state higher than what Notarize has reached for onboarding or the potential to onboard notaries of those states. So,
gotcha.
And I've got like 3 more pending. I should hear by mid-January on those. So, yeah, bigger and better, bigger and brighter. Things are great.
Man, that is awesome. And everybody was telling me, I've gotten a lot of great feedback. They love the interview with you. They love hearing you and what you're doing. And this is what I'm trying to get notaries to realize is that you get in here, you learn the business. Stop worrying about all this here fancy stuff and flossing, but learn the business, because the quicker you can learn the business, learn how to properly notarize, learn what you should and shouldn't be doing, then your mind will be you'll have your mind focused on, I can move into this area. I can, and there's nothing wrong with all these other businesses. And I'm not against it because a lot of people think I'm against all these other streams of income. But if you came into this business to be a notary and to get good with that, the question is, are you good with that? And I'm not saying you can't have these other streams of income that bounces off of being a notary, but if you're not good at what you originally came in for, that's the foundation so that you can grow. Because guess what? If these other things that you're trying to do fall apart, you always got notary. You always have this, because there's nothing wrong with fingerprinting. But at some point in time, they can say, well, no, we're going to send them to the sheriff's office. There's nothing wrong with some of this other stuff, the secret shopper. People like, nah, I want you coming in my store. I'm not against any of that. But as soon as you get into being a notary, you're running trying to do all this other stuff, and you never get good at anything. And the thing I have is, we as grown people, we don't allow our children to be all over the place. We tell our kids to get focused, get good at something, and then branch out. But we're doing the exact opposite. And that's the problem I'm having here. And that's going to hurt notaries in the long run.
Oh, I totally agree, Griff. So one of the things that I think helped me, because mind you, I didn't market as a notary for years. I've been a notary over 20, didn't market it, never actually thought of it as an income stream. Once I did, I signed up, I became a loan signing agent. I started doing that. Okay, it wasn't really my cup of tea. So I decided I was going to do Ron. And when I made that decision, Griff, I didn't say Ron was an option. I said Ron was it. I have not traveled to a single client since January 1st. Everything I do is 100% online.
Gotcha.
And when I get the phone call, they only get told I will do it online. That's it. No ifs, ands, or buts. And it's not because of the virus or anything. It's because it's not profitable for me unless I do.
Right.
I don't like to drive. I don't like the cost of printing. I don't like the time it takes to coordinate all that. It's not for me. But if I were offering mobile, I was offering in person, I was offering online, where do I pursue my advertising? How do I say, here's what I can do, and really focus that money so that I get a return on my investment? If I'm doing 5 or 6 different things, great. If you can budget and allocate and address that and get a good return on all those different aspects, that's wonderful. But for me, I couldn't see that. I was like, I got to go and do this. Now, I think that helped because within 3 months, I was making more doing Ron than I was at my government job. So I think that having that focus helped me.
Yeah, and I agree. And see, like, one of the things you said for you, you listed a lot of the things that you didn't really care for. And there's nothing wrong with that. But here's what and like somebody posted the question here saying that I seem to be a little more annoyed lately with notaries. It's not so much with the notary, it's the mindset. It's the mindset. It's not personal, it's the mindset, because there are a lot of people who don't like printing, who don't like scan backs. So what they do is they try to find some kind of avenue. They try to go around doing what the job requires. So you don't like scan back. What's going on, little one?
I'm my helper.
What's going on, helper? You got to go get you a fritter. Got to get you that fritter. Dunkin' Donuts, they back.
You got ice cream.
Oh, well, that's even, look, ice cream on a fritter is the bomb. I'm serious. Ice cream on the fritter is good. But yeah, it's not that I'm annoyed with the mindset that people feel that they can come into any industry as a novice, not knowing it. And then it's like, I'm going to make it be this way. I'm going to make it be that way, and try to force the industry to change for their own personal benefit without actually doing or being accountable to do the thing correctly. So I want them to pay me for printing, pay me for scan backs, but then you don't do the notarizations correctly. That's annoying, because then it affects, because many of you out here, you new notaries, are affected by that, because guess what? They then say, bring this young lady on in. They then turn around and say, I don't want to deal with a new notary. Why? Because of all of these issues, because these new notaries, so you end up being lumped in that. So I'm like, it's the mindset that I'm annoyed with, and others are. I'm gonna tell you this: just because I talk about it the most, don't think that other senior notaries or notaries who got as much experience or more than me aren't annoyed. They just not saying anything. Now, people are doing stuff in the background to try to fix the issue. I'm just the kind of person that's gonna say something. And I'm not saying that they should or that they shouldn't. I'm just being me. That's it. What you got going on, Miss Carlton?
So I'm Midwest Floridian on YouTube.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought I would give you my real name. Hello, everyone. First of all, I feel like I owe a live because I haven't been on. So, for those who don't know, I am a new notary. So, I actually got my commission back in October of this year. But notary for me is actually my second business. My first business.
No, keep going.
Oh, there we go. So, my first business is I'm a tutor. And the
Okay,
kids
you're a
are going
tutor.
on. Yep, and the kids are going on Christmas break, so I'm going on break from tutoring for a couple of weeks. Um, so I started to try to accept some loan signings in that
Mm-hmm.
time. And I actually had a company yesterday assign me the signing, and then they took it back.
Mm,
So it wasn't because I could tested the money or anything to pay, but actually I didn't have enough experience and did not meet their minimum requirements. So instead of getting upset about it, I just simply had a little talk with that representative. And
there
first
you
she
go.
was saying 200 signings, 2 years of experience, which I've heard it before. And so after we got done talking for a while, and she said, well, you know what? Contact me back after you get 50 to 60 signings, and we'll start to work with you.
There you
Um,
go.
so that was definitely encouraging. It's been a slow start for me getting in the notary business, not because
Mm-hmm.
jobs or signings haven't been available, it's because I have another business, and it a lot of time coincides with what I do in the evening. Because a lot of the signings, I'm in
Right.
Florida, by the way. A lot of the signings come in the evening. So in the meantime, if there's any other new notaries out there, just keep up on your knowledge. Just continue to get your knowledge, continue to get your research, and continue to be ready. Because as a new notary, I can even say that I'm fed up with new notaries. Um, I made the slight mistake of jumping into a Facebook group for Florida notaries, of course. And
Mm-hmm.
some of the things that I see from new notaries like myself is like, are you serious? Did you just go get your commission and do nothing else? People
Right.
are coming in like, well, what is this document? I mean, just a basic, or how do I get an acknowledgement form? Um, just everything that you could think of that I'm sure everyone else has seen if they've ever been in a group. And
Yeah.
it's not only frustrating, but as a new notary, it can be a little discouraging because you always
Correct.
feel like you're missing out on, all of this information out there when it's really not that difficult.
Yeah, it's not that difficult, and that's why I keep saying people are making it seem like. And what's going on over there on the ground? We doing some interviews over here, not even interviews, just chatting it up over here
Okay.
on YouTube. So feel free if anybody on Instagram got a question, feel free to ask a question or hop on live with me. But I think now people are starting to realize that, okay, you know what? I need to take a different approach to this and really think about who I'm listening to and what they are saying so that I can do this business the correct way. And even what you're saying is, and I did a video about it. I think I've done 2 videos about being able to manage the multiple streams of income you have, whether it's all notary related or non-notary related, managing them so that you can be effective in both. Because if you're
Exactly.
not, you'll burn yourself out real quick. And then you have to understand what is the realistic expectation for your area. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
For your area, what is the realistic expectation to do notary to a certain level? And one of the things that I've been saying from day one that I got on YouTube, you gotta set a financial goal. If you don't, you'll just be out here doing stuff. And I know what people think. And I'm gonna just say this is what I believe is going. If I don't set a goal, if I don't make that much money, then I can't be disappointed. But then what are you really aiming for? So in order
Right.
for me to leave off of my W-2 to come and do this full time, I had a goal that I was making while working with W-2. Then I had a goal that I wanted to make so that when I leave my W-2, I got X amount of dollars coming in from the work that I did the month before to help cover some of these bills when they hit. And then I said, okay, well, I already have my goal that I want to make per month once I am full time. And from there, it's just working toward that goal rather than working to say, oh, I got $150 signing or I got $100 signing. Okay, that's
Yep.
nice. But I'm making my monthly goal to cover the bills, because at the end of the day, no bill collector cares about what you got, what you're supposed to get paid per signing. They just want to know, do you have what you're supposed to, what you are obligated and indebted to give me? And it's either yes or no. That's why I say even being careful about doing the business credit. People coming into the notary business don't even have anything established, but you're trying to get $5,000, $10,000, $30,000 in business credit. Okay,
Yep.
but are you working your business so that you can pay off the money that you just ran up, the debt that you ran up? If you're not working the business, if you're saying, well, I'm not going to take any orders under 150, but you got let's just say you got $5,000 worth. I'll even go a little lower. Let's just say $4,000 worth of orders that you can do that's under $150. How is missing that supposed to be beneficial and making you a real business person? That doesn't. Nobody does that. Nobody walks away from that kind of money, but then you've already racked up 15,000 in debt obligations with this business credit that you have to pay. You done bought printers, you done bought this, you done bought, all of these fancy bags and all of this advertising and all of this stuff, but you're not making money where you can make money. And that's one of the things that I learned in business early on. Make money where you can make money. As I said before, when I had a photography business, I went to the New York Institute of Photography. It was a correspondence course where they actually sent you cassette tapes, critiques of your work. And on the cassette tape, all I remember is one thing that this guy said out of maybe 30 or 40 tapes that I listened to and we went back and forth with was people. He said, if you want to make money in the photography business, take the pictures that nobody else wants to take.
Exactly.
If you take the pictures that nobody else wants to take at the day and the time and the place that nobody else wants to do it, you will make money. And I remember I'm in a house, a little shotgun type house. And the girl said, I want a wedding. I want to do my wedding in my living room. And they had like one light bulb in there. I mean, it was so dark. And she came walking down the hall, just prancing and everything. And I'm in the bathroom. I'm having to take the pictures of her walking down the hall from the back room toward me. Click, click, click. I'm in the bathroom. Had to let her pass by me, then come back out from the bathroom. Click, click, click. They paid me well, but it was meeting their need where they are at. So when people, if you're trying to understand my mindset, it's when I see, okay, there's a need. Can I meet the need? Okay, if I can, let me do everything I can and do it in excellence. Go for it, Amy.
You need to create a solution.
Correct.
When you are out there, you're going to get tons of calls. Can you do this? They already signed it. Da 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 da. You've got to be able to create a solution in an area where they are asking for you to do something that's illegal. When you create that solution, they will remember you forever.
Right. That is correct.
Do it legally. Don't just do it because they're asking you to do it. Do it the right way. Find a way to make it work. But there are ways to make almost everything work within that customer's realistic aspects or abilities. It's knowing what type of notarization can we do. Is it predictable? Is it RON? Is it RIN? Is it IPEN? What is it that'll work for that client? And how do I facilitate that if I can't do it? Who do I call?
Yeah. And that is excellent. And, years ago, and there's this guy named Mike Murdoch. He's a preacher out in Denton, Texas. and he said something, he called it wisdom keys. And one of the things, it's like 50 wisdom keys. And one of them he said, and it resonates with me, and it's really where I taking what I learned in photography, do the pictures that nobody else wants to do. And then he said, people only pay you for the problems you solve, not the ones you create. So by taking pictures that nobody else wants, that is solving a problem that that person has. They have a problem. What is it? Got it. Let me find a way to do it. I used to do bridal shops, pictures. I would go and rent out a hotel room, a little hotel conference room, bring all of my gear there and take the bridal pictures and everything, because I wasn't living in a townhouse. And they would say, well, for my wedding photography, for my wedding pictures, I want some bridal pictures. I went out and made it happen. I did not have the space to do it in my little townhouse, but I found a way to make it happen. So while everybody else had these big garages that had 20-foot ceilings and all of that, all I had was just this little 1350 townhouse with a small living room that could not fit any of my photography equipment, but I found a way to make it work. And by doing that, the next thing you know, boom. Now, everybody knows I always talk about last minute signings. Just so y'all understand that I don't have a problem doing nothing last minute. I used to get photography requests, like it'll be a Wednesday and the wedding is on a Saturday. Somebody's coming in from out of town. They heard about me and they'll call me up on a Wednesday evening saying, hey, can you do our wedding on Saturday? The answer was yes. If I wasn't booked, the answer was yes. Reason why I could do it like that fast, because I already had the film. I already had all the equipment. I had everything staged and ready to go. So if they called me on a Wednesday, and I've had people even call me same day because their photographer got sick or something happened or their photographer overbooked. And here's the crazy part. In the photography industry, wedding photography, photographers do the same thing that notaries do, double book. And I used to get work from other photographers who would have 3 weddings in one day. And the first wedding ran long. And then they would call me up and say, yo, man, can you go and cover this wedding for me? No problem. You got to pay me. And I go cover it for them to help them out. And then that person was like, well, I need some other pictures done. Or the people at the wedding were like, man, I'm glad you was able to step in, because that person, they messed us over. They didn't show up. And then next thing you know, I'm getting 3 and 4 more requests. So that's why I keep saying it's not so much just the marketing of your business. It's about being ready to do business when the opportunity comes. So just so you understand what I'm saying now, I've lived it and been living it long before I ever learned about this, long before any of it. This is way back when social media wasn't even existing. Okay. This is way back in like the late 90s that I was operating the same way I'm sharing with y'all and encouraging y'all to do. And that's what you have to do. You got to find a way to meet the need of the people who want what you have. So you market yourself, but you're not ready to actually do the job. Then what good are you? You wasted all of your money, your time and resources marketing when somebody calls you and you're not ready. And then you say, well, I'm a single mom, I'm a single dad. Okay, well, then you need to make sure you got your child care set. You need to talk to Big Mama and all of them and Uncle Ron and all of them folks and say, look, I might get a call. So I'm gonna need to drop a little man and TT off to y'all at 9:00 at night, because I might get a $200 order. You see what I'm saying? You got to be forward thinking in all of that. What you got for me, lady?
So Griff, with that being said, that's kind of the position that I'm in. I don't know all 100% because I have other commitments at the times where loan signings are hot in this area. If loan signings themselves would be the notary, the part of the notary career that I would actually take on. So I've actually, and another thing, and I think I've commented on another video, I actually have a brick and mortar. So I have an office And again, with that being said, is loan signings the best notary act for me? I've also been exploring some other things such as permit runner, permit expediter. I live in Florida. Construction is very
Hmm.
hot around this area, and so is the traffic, and so is the
Right.
cities. So, with me having that more daytime availability, it doesn't mean that I can't do anything notarial. It just may
Right.
mean that loan signing may not be the thing for me. But before I count that out, um, the first rule of business is to exhaust your options.
Right.
I have to go through that to see if it is for me. I can't just say, oh, well, I haven't been able to take any loan signings for a month. I'm just going to drop out. So I think the problem with new notaries is they're coming in with their notary stamp, but they're not coming in with any business etiquette. They
Correct.
have no business etiquette.
Right. They have none. And y'all heard, and look, everybody has heard me say this over and over again. The number one rule to me, one of the rules, I won't say the number one of the rules in business or principles, you don't turn down money unjustifiably.
Yeah.
What is your justifiable reason for saying no to making $85, $150, $30? What is the justified reason that you have for saying no?
There is none.
That's what you have to, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, let's just be real with y'all. If you ever gone through a bankruptcy and when they start digging into your finances, if they ever find that you had an opportunity to make money, but
Mm-hmm.
you have not, the judge is going to be like, why did you not take the opportunity to make money? They start digging in your background and start, wait a minute, you had this, you had that opportunity. Why didn't you take advantage of those opportunities to make money? And just so you can understand, when I had to file for bankruptcy, I was probably making around six. I think between me and my wife, we was making just under $100,000, or maybe $100,000. Yeah, $100,000 or so. And the attorney looked and saw how much money we were like, y'all make good money. What you filing bankruptcy for? That's what he said. Now, because I was stressed and because I didn't feel like getting in lockup, that's why he didn't get me doing a Latrell Sprewell on his behind. Because I'm like, hold up, man, don't be sitting up here disrespecting me like that in front of my wife. I was about ready. What do I okay? And I will answer that question real quick. He said, what I mean by overbooking. So I was like, man, but he was working for the main attorney, and then we talked to the main attorney, and she was like, don't worry about him. People who make way more money than you've been filing bankruptcy. If you can't pay, you can't pay. We got you. And they took care of us. But when we went through that budgeting questionnaire, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you, it makes you really think. It's like, man, I better make sure I get my act together and never have to do this again. And I'm like, so now my attitude is I'm taking advantage of every opportunity to make money. Okay. And that's different from saying I'm trying to create different streams, because you can have different streams, but it don't mean that you're making money. So you can have all the
Exactly.
different streams you want, but you might not be drinking out of them because you're not willing to do what it takes to make the money from each one of those individual streams. Or when the opportunity comes, you make up an excuse why you can't do it. So the stream of whatever, let's just say permit runner, the stream of permit runner comes up and somebody says, hey, look, we got 5 permits that we need you to run. And unfortunately, they asking you to come pick them up in the height of traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And if you as a person, now note what I'm saying here, as a person, you have issues with traffic as on a personal level that it just stresses you out. Now, are you going to overcome and push through your personal non-business owner attitude toward traffic, or are you going to go do it? Or you're not going to
Exactly.
do it. Which ones? Because see, now you start getting into, well, because for years, I don't like traffic. I ain't going to come between 4 and 7. I ain't driving nowhere. And then somebody's like, I'm gonna pay you $300 to run these permits. I just need you to pick them up. The courthouse is closed today, but I need you to pick them up today from me. and take care of them on Monday. And I'm gonna pay you 300 and I'm gonna give you the 300 up front so you can go do this. Now you got to make a decision. Are you going to let your personal issues with motor vehicular traffic interfere with your ability to make $300? That's the real question. Okay. So you like, I got all these streams, but then you only want to do the stream at between 9 and 1 when there's no traffic. But those guys are working who need the permit rent. They look, we ain't got time to get the permits written up between 9 and 1. We write them up between 3 and 5, and then we need to give them to you so you can go take care of them between 9 and 1. We need them put in the office at night between 9 and 1. That's just the way we work. That's our business model. You're like, well, nah, that ain't my nah, I ain't doing that. No. And I'm like, so you're making an excuse and a reason why not to make money. Now, what the person was asking here about, what do I mean overbooking? Overbooking is you got too many orders than you can legitimately complete when they need to be completed. That's what it means. You're overbooked because you got way too many orders that you can legitimately complete when you're supposed to. So if you are taking on 5 and 6 orders, like I think I told the last time I was on the live, the lady had so many orders coming in that she was paying notaries to go do the orders for her. And in doing that, what she ended up doing was hold on one sec. I had to turn this on over here so I can keep what she was doing basically was telling notaries, go do the signing, don't sign anything, don't notarize anything, and bring it back to me. You see, when you overbook, you sit up here and cut corners. So they're witnessing somebody signing, and then, but you're the one notarizing it. See, that kind of stuff you can't have going on. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I know. Yeah, 50 Cent filed for bankruptcy a few years back. A lot of people have filed for bankruptcy. So that's the thing. So you got to have a mindset. All I'm saying is, let's go into 2022 being for real, being about it. Okay. So that you can make the funds, the money that you desire to make for your family. And if anybody, starting with me, is saying something to you that is not designed to help you move and make money, then don't listen to it. It's that simple. Don't listen to it. Okay. Now, if you're saying I'm not going to listen to it, then make sure that the reason why you're not listening to it is justified. If it's, I just don't like Griff, I just don't like that he's telling me don't do this because I really want to do it. Okay. Then go do your thing. But if what you're trying to do really isn't working, then truth is truth. You need to go in a different direction. So let me put my link back up in here if anybody wants to hop on. Now, what we got over here on the IG, I know somebody on the IG got something. I know we got Low Country, South Carolina Notary. What you got, lady? I know you got something. I'm gonna send you a request to go live. See if you want to do a little something to talk to me, because I haven't heard from you outside of just the chat part. So anybody on YouTube, I just threw the link in there. Let's see what she said. Oh yeah. Yeah, doing signings back to back is that's a beast. I mean, y'all look, y'all have heard me talk about that. I've done them 3 back to back, 4 back to back. It's tough, but if you get a chance to do it, cool. All right, you need my help. Hop on here with me. Hop on now. This is Century 21. I mean, I keep saying Signature 21. Gosh, I keep saying that. So this here is the General Notary Work Queen, y'all. She tears it up. So hopefully y'all should be able to hear her.
Hey.
What's going on? I'm doing an IG live and a YouTube live at the same time for Fritter Friday. What's going on with you, lady?
I'm doing good. So, Griff.
Yeah.
Okay, so today I've been doing this all day long. And me and Ismael was just talking about it. I need help with my YouTube
Okay. So you did a video and you said the video was up, but it's not playing.
It's playing, but the video, it looks like an old Bruce Lee movie. It's like
Okay. Here's what's going on. More than likely, whatever you're using, what your computer processing power isn't able to keep up with the voice and the video at the same time.
so. Let me ask you this. So I downloaded a screen recorder because it's kind of a reaction video to Fiberize it. So it let me use my camera. I pulled in my camera, so I'm on the screen, but also me being on the website is showing as well. When I look at my actual camera to my computer, it plays fine, but if I play the version of the screen record, then it's off.
Yeah, and more than likely the processing is not able to, the processing isn't good enough to keep up with the two.
Okay.
And the reason why, because like when I was trying to do a green screen on StreamYard, and the processing that it takes to do the green screen with the fake background, it slowed everything up and it had me looking like the Bruce Lee movie also. So that's why now I can do it with Zoom. I have no problem with Zoom, but with StreamYard, I had to be careful because one of the things also, if I did the scrolling text with StreamYard, then that would be a problem because for whatever reason, it didn't process it properly. It was just too much for the software to handle and everything. So that's why, so I figured that out, but that's what it is. It's your computer, whether you have enough RAM, hard drive space, or the actual graphics processor, all of that kind of stuff might not be enough to handle all of that hitting it at one time.
Okay.
Yeah, so it can be a lot for the computer, and if it can't handle all of that, it's just gonna process what it can, like first come, first serve.
Yeah.
So when I first, so even when I do videos, that's the first thing I'm checking. Even though it seemed like I'm just popping on, a lot of times I'm checking stuff out ahead of time, and I'm looking to see. Even now, I'm checking to see, okay, how's my mouth moving versus the words. Sometimes I'll, make sure my hand is moving at the same, like I think it should. And I'm checking all of those things because if I move my hand and then I'm like, okay, I move my hand, but then it comes up like a millisecond later, I'm like, okay, it's off. Something's not right there, and then I have to go to the drawing board and try to figure, out what the issue is. But and then sometimes it could be, you may have enough processing power, but you probably have to shut down all of these other things.
Okay, that sounds probably right because I think because I use this for my, it could be, but I did do it on two computers. I did it on my desktop and I also did it on my laptop, but my job is on my laptop and it does have a lot of different programs on there. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to keep trying. I did download something to try to edit to detach the voice so I could try to line it up, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just figuring it out. So.
Yeah. You can do that, but I don't like trying to do that. That's just too much effort to do for a video. So you're probably going to want to start off by shutting everything down, rebooting your computer so it can just clear everything out, and then start off with just doing the video stuff and see what that does.
Yeah. Today is Fritter Friday, huh?
I got my fritters back. The fritter done came back. I went there.
That looks so good.
I got a whole bunch of them.
I just passed the bakery too. That looks so good. But I just came from a cardiologist and I'm doing good, so I'm gonna just keep on moving.
That is good. So somebody asked here, said, "Hey, Grill, I have been getting assignments to witness for a couple of attorneys join, and one of the attorneys always asked me to bring my notary stamp. I have ignored her. Is that legit?" Well, why would you not bring your notary stamp? My notary stamp is always with me. Always carry that notary stamp with you. Yeah, and see, this is the thing. As long as you understand how to properly notarize stuff, you can carry that notary stamp with you. And if they ask you to notarize something and you look at it and it's like, okay, yep, I can notarize that, or no, I cannot. And then you need to be able to articulate to them why you can't. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's very, very important, for that. But now you should always have your notary stamp. If you coming around an attorney and they want you to witness anything, have that notary stamp. You, as the notary, you should always have that notary stamp with you. Hold on. Nope, I am not taking any orders this weekend. I'm going to rest. I'm going to rest, and everything. But yeah, you should. So somebody had asked me earlier about, am I taking orders from Notary Go? I haven't taken orders from Notary Go in over a year, I think. And out of the 1,500 that I've done, I only did 14, maybe I think 14 or 15 orders from Notary Go. I haven't done that many. Notary Go is a good place to start, but it's not necessarily, unless that's the only place that's giving you orders, that's not the place where you're going to lay your hat at, and just keep taking theirs and everything, because they're not, I know they've been having problems and all of that, so they're a good place to start to get some experience, and then you add in the what you've done into your profile and stuff. Well, okay, if again, still, you're a notary, you should have your stamp with you. You just never know, because after that session is over with them, there's nothing that says they can't ask you to do something or be willing to pay you to notarize something outside of what they ask you to do. So it's just a matter of, again, being prepared and being ready. We market ourselves, but then when it comes time to being ready to go, it's like, okay, well, hey, can you go take care of this? Oh, I don't have my stamp with me. It's like, okay, but you're a notary. Why don't you have your stamp? That's the thing. That's the thing that you need to have. You say, are we allowed to date documents for a future date? I know backdating is no good. That's a tricky one. Because you shouldn't be notarizing something for the no, you can't notarize anything for the future. You have to notarize it, date it for the day that you're doing it. So you can't notarize it. And there have been times where I've seen a document and they're going to be closing on the 15th and today is the 14th. But they're putting down, the people with me, they're putting the date down that they actually signed, and I'm putting the date down that I actually notarized. So I don't care what the future date may say. I'm talking about what I'm here. You can't notarize for the future. You can't even really try to plan for the future because the future ain't here. You can only deal with what you're doing in the present. So if you're talking about dating documents for a notarization in the future, no, you can't do that. That's something that should be apparent, because if you date something for a couple of days in advance, you get in a car accident and you can't be there, then what? You see what I'm saying? So now that's not something that we should be doing and everything. So how's your and you know what? I don't forgot your first name. Alicia. So other than that, how else things going? How's did you ever get to do the jail thing?
That lady never called me back. She said that she was calling me because I was a mobile notary and she needed a ride and she needed a notarization. And I let her know I don't provide rides, so I guess she never found a ride.
Gotcha.
But I've been doing my runs. Yesterday I had 2 runs, but one of them I couldn't complete because, and it goes to what you're talking about right now. He couldn't pass KBA, and it wasn't that he failed it. They just didn't have the information about him. They couldn't pull anything from KBA for him, right? And so he told me that he's done 4 of them, and I said, well, how have you just did 4 of them in the last couple of weeks, and you can't even get any information pulled from KBA? And he let me know that a notary in my area from Akron, Ohio, had had him text his ID, and this is a notary he doesn't know. Text him his ID, and he bypassed KBA for him and got the job done. And I let him know that's one, illegal, and two, that I won't be doing that. So I called title. I let them know what happened. Let them know that we couldn't complete the notarization. They were fine with it and happy that, you know, I did exactly what I was supposed to do. And so that was that.
And that was something that me and Amy talked about on when I was talking with her on showcasing her Cyberize. It was that, you know, there's, you know, notaries are trying to find alternative ways of credible witness and things of that nature that they may not be legitimately able to do in some cases just to get the job done. And this is one of the things I more recently was talking about, is that notaries keep doing stuff and then we end up paying the cost for it because somebody was like, well, everybody else does it. And I'm like, okay. And again, and I know y'all heard me say this before, so my apologies for repeating it, but it doesn't make sense to me that you have an entity that's paying us, doesn't matter which one, an entity paying us. And then when we ask that entity a question about notarization, they say, oh, well, we're not the notary expert. You are. That's why we're paying you. You need to know how to do this. Okay, fine. I will figure it out. Then I go figure it out and get it done. And then when there's another situation that comes up that I clearly see is not right, and I tell them, they're like, oh, everybody else does it. I'm telling you, you can do this. And I'm like, wait a minute. I've already researched it and I found out that I can't do it. Now you're telling me because you got 20, 30 years experience in this mortgage industry that I can? I'm like, based off of what? Well, that's just the way it's always been done. But is it legal? You see what I'm saying? That's why I tell people, I say, don't argue with them and try to refuse to do work. Just tell them, say, I will do it if you can legally show me how. If you can legally show me how, I will do it with a smile on my face. I'm not refusing, because they'll ask you, are you refusing to do this? No, I'm not refusing to do something that I legally can do. If you're asking me, am I refusing to do something that I'm not legally able to do? Then I guess the answer is yes. So is what you're asking me to do legal? It's either yes or no. And if you can't provide me, justify a reason why I should be doing it, then I guess I'm gonna have to not do it based off of my knowledge of it. So, but they're always default and say, well, you know, you're the notary expert. Okay, well, if I'm the notary expert and I can provide you proof that this is not what I'm supposed to be doing, then why can't you accept what I'm saying? And the reason why is, now this is the other reason why they don't accept sometimes what notaries say, is because there are notaries out there who make up stuff just so they don't have to do it. And I've been told that. I've been told multiple times, well, it sounds like you're just trying to get out of doing your job. And I'm like, no. I'm like, where are you getting that from? Well, you know how you notaries are sometimes. Y'all be trying to get out of doing stuff that y'all supposed to do. And I'm like, that's not me. So now you're equating me to them. And see, this is weird because on one end, they'll say, well, don't be like those other notaries and get out of trying to do what you're supposed to be doing. But then on the other hand, they're saying, hey, act like them and notarize this because they always notarize it and it helps us out.
Yeah.
Which one is it? You get what I'm saying? That's the part that's real quirky for me. I'm like, which one is it? You know, now this person on YouTube asked it, who having problems with the closing exchange. The closing exchange site is very, very janky. Sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not. Sometimes stuff is just spinning. I done been locked out of that things. I don't know how many times. Yeah, that closing exchange, that funky website they have now, they switched over to it about 2-3 years ago. It is not a good design. Somebody sold them that and it does not work, especially on the mobile device. So if you're going to that site on the mobile device, you might as well hang it up. You are not going to be able to get in there to accept the order. You have to do it from your computer. So a lot of time when I would be home, I would have the computer up. I would get the notification on my phone, and then I would immediately go to the website, refresh it to see it, and then I would try to accept it that way. But if you're trying to accept it on your phone, that website is so messed up the way they have it designed. And yeah, and then also on your laptop, depending on what browser you're using, whether you're using Internet Explorer, Firefox, Internet Chrome, all of these are concerns or issues that you can have with the closing exchange website. And their stuff is just really bad. I mean, they pay you once you get the order and all of that, they pay you, but trying to get the order is very difficult at times, very difficult and stuff.
Wow.
So other than that, you doing okay?
I'm doing good. I'm just, I was talking to Ismail.
Yeah.
Ismail. I was talking to him earlier. He was asking me the same question. My business it's been busy. And to be honest with you, I can't take any more. I haven't been marketing or anything like that because I can't take any more business.
Mm-hmm.
Too much. So I'm in the process of trying to find out how I can outsource these signings that I get throughout the day because I can't do them. And they're in different areas, and I would say within about an hour within my location.
Right.
And so I'm trying to find out how to outsource these to notaries who know what they're doing. And I guess I could just get a cut and send it out, but I just don't know how that works. So I'm in the process of learning just how to do that.
Now, what type of signings are you talking about outsourcing?
Loan signing. I get loan signings all day long, and they could be right where I'm at, or like I said, about an hour away. Sometimes a little bit longer. And then I get a lot of those things from Notary Dash. They're oh my gosh, like debt settlement.
Right.
And then I get the little door knock. I don't know what those are. Those like class action suits or something. That's what it looks like to me. So I would like to just, give those to people around me, other notaries around me, because I can't take them.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's a hard thing because some of these companies, they have restrictions on you subcontracting work.
Okay.
So you may not be able to subcontract the work and everything, and all of that. So that might be an issue because if they gave it to you, then they're going to be expecting to see your notarial stuff on there because they're going to be and all of that. So that's one of the other issues that notaries are doing. I haven't ever really spoken on it, but a lot of notaries, they go out, and this goes back to the question about overbook. They overbook themselves purposefully, and then they get a new naive notary and say, "Hey, I'll give you $35 to go do this, or $40," and then they go running out there. Okay, cool, and they go do the order and everything. And the question is, if you're not having that notary to be the one to sign and stamp the paperwork in front of the customer, then whose logbook are they putting it in?
Yeah, you know what? When you said that, it's so funny that you just said that. Like I said, I don't do loan signings often. They're not my favorite thing to do. I love general notary work. So when you just said that, you don't know how many veteran notaries told me, "Oh, you need to give that work out. You need to outsource that." I didn't know that, and it sounds right. And that's what Ismail said earlier. He was like, there's certain restrictions with that, so you got to be careful. So now that you said that, I'm going to have to find a way to maybe, I don't know, just turn them down, I guess.
Right. I mean, if you can't do them, yeah. Because, I mean, I get orders all the time, and if I can't get them, like now my son is in, if I can't get it over to him, then I try to get it to other, and like Caprina said, that's a big no-no, doing that. So what I try to do is I may just give it to the other notary altogether, because see, here's my thing also. Here's my other thing. We all came in this business to do what? Make money. So I'm not really doing the work. but I want to take money from that person. I'm like, I'd rather that notary make the money, because I'd rather you just get all the money. Because first of all, if you, hopefully you're a good notary and you're going to do stuff right, then that actually makes me look good, because I can say, hey, I don't forgot your first name again. That's Alicia. I keep wanting to say Ashley, Alicia. So I keep saying, hey, look, Alicia, she'll take care of you, ... And then you go and you do it. Then it's like, okay, well, man, okay, well, Griffin, okay, that he gave us a good notary. You see what I'm saying? So, I say, yeah, my son will take care of him. Oh, okay. He goes and out and does it. Okay. Rather than you being slick, you see, and see, here's again, this is just confirmation and proof what I've been saying to you new notaries. Okay. I'm gonna say it twice. Okay. I'm gonna say it to YouTube, and then I'm gonna say it to Instagram. New notaries. I've been telling y'all, these OG notaries out here are playing y'all. Okay. Yeah, they playing y'all. OG notaries, IG, the OGs are playing you. They're telling you to do stuff that you shouldn't be doing, and they know better. Or they did it and they was able to get away with it, but they really shouldn't have been doing it. And sometimes people will tell you to do stuff that they've gotten away with. However, they really shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. You get what I'm saying? They shouldn't have been doing it, but they're doing a little slick stuff. So now you do it. Now here's the problem. They're not really teaching you how to do it. They're telling you what to do. It's crazy when somebody tells you to be slick and do something underhanded, but they don't teach you how to really get away with it. So when you go try to do the underhanded thing, you get caught. You're like, man, what the heck happened? And then they sit there and tell, well, man, you did it wrong. See, you weren't supposed to do it like this. You did it the wrong way, man. You weren't supposed to market it that you were doing it on Facebook, and you went and said it on Facebook that you did it, and now you got caught. You see what I'm saying? So you're thinking, oh, I'm going to do it this way. They didn't tell me what, they just told me to go do it. So now you're marketing on Facebook. Hey, I got these orders that I'm getting, and I'm going to have y'all take care of them for me. Just don't notarize them and everything, and just bring them back, and I'll notarize them at home later that evening when I pick up Man and TT from daycare. Now you got it all. You got it. You got a video. You got it typed. You got it all screenshotted that you said that your commission is over. And then the OG is like, ha, one less person to compete with me.
Wow.
So when you think about some of the stuff that people are telling you to do, again, as I always say, you need to make them show you receipts. You need to make them prove that what they're talking about doing, they're doing. Matter of fact, if you're in my area, how about I hang with you while we go do this here underhanded thing? You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful. There's folk out there, they just will lie to you. And y'all are believing, maybe not you, maybe not some of y'all, but there are a lot of people who are just flat out believing these cats just because you're so desperate to make money, and they say something that sounds fairly good, and it makes you, it's like, okay, yeah, okay, I'm going to do that. Should you really be doing that? Is it really worth doing? You get what I'm saying? But see, this is, again, I've said this before. When you don't understand who you are, when you're not confident in who you are, you will do anything that somebody says to make money, because now people are telling you who they want you to be. I'm an OG notary. I'm telling you who I want you to be. I want you to be a notary that does stuff underhanded. Yeah. That's really what this boils down to. I want you. To get where I'm at. So they want you to be underhanded, and you're like, okay, I'll be underhanded because you told me to. And it's like, you know, and you have no one to blame but yourself, you know. And then you will say somebody like myself or other people who are trying to show you the right way to do it. Like, oh, you're trying to stop me from making money. Nobody's trying to stop you from making money. I'm just trying to keep you from getting put in jail, because that's what's about to happen. I mean, you show me how it wouldn't happen if you, again, you're doing something underhanded. Yeah. And we got Amy from Cyberrise rolling back up in here.
Sorry, notary called. I had to go answer it.
Yeah, she's on the YouTube live. Yeah, this is okay. This is I don't forgot your name a third time.
Alicia.
I know y'all. This is non-alcoholic eggnog. Got my brain all. Look, I'm having a sugar fit right now, so I can't. Alicia, right?
Alicia, yeah.
Okay, Alicia is on here with me, Amy, on YouTube. I say YouTube on IG. See, y'all got me sitting up here. How am I slurring my speech and ain't not a lick of alcohol in this here?
You got some liquor in there.
I'm slurring my speech on some daggone eggnog. Okay.
I've worked a couple of times with Alicia this week. Alicia. So Alicia and I know each other very, very well. I felt we worked together a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, no more eggnog for me until 10 o'clock tonight. Until 10 o'clock tonight, you know, I hit that eggnog one more time and stuff. But yeah, so we have we have a great opportunity to do some fabulous things in this business. All I can say is I'm coming out with some stuff that that's gonna really help notaries out. It's eventually gonna translate over into the Ron stuff. So I know I'm gonna be needing Amy's help with this here and everything, because I see I hear what notaries are asking for. I hear what the signing companies are saying that they're struggling with from notaries, and I've been spending the last year putting together within my own mind, and now I'm writing it down on how to rectify some of this stuff. And I was talking to Laura Brewer earlier today and everything, you know, and it's going to be a thing what I'm doing I'm going to put forth every effort to not duplicate effort of good training that's already out there. So stuff like what Laura is doing, I'm not touching what she's doing. She got something going on. She gonna do it, but I'm looking. Basically, I'm going to deal with the stuff that nobody else wants to touch. And it's not that maybe they don't want to, maybe they don't have the bandwidth, but it's stuff that needs to be dealt with. It's stuff that the people are saying they want. So I'm like, okay, let me try to give the people what they say they want and see if this will fix the problem. Because people are like, well, you know, if I had training that did like this, then I'll be all right. Or the signing companies and title companies that I've talked to, them, well, yeah, if the notaries was on this level, we'll give them a shot. Okay, so now I think I found a way to rectify that to where the notaries are where they need to be, and the title companies and signing companies can be confident and say, okay, I'm gonna give you a shot. Because right now there's so many people selling so many things. And again, I'm not against any of that. But the problem is new notaries aren't getting work. So what good does it do to buy another thing and you don't get the work? And then if you do get the work, which a lot of the stuff that's being promoted out there will help you get noticed and recognized and get you in the door. Now you got to be able to perform. And the biggest issue is that a lot of notaries aren't able to perform. So I'm focusing on getting that performance level or that performance rate up. Performance rate is very low for a lot of notaries for a lot of various different reasons. And that's what I'm focusing on, is helping notaries get that performance level up. And I believe once that comes up, then there should not be any excuse for a signing company or a title company to select a notary, even though you don't have 150 or 200 signings under your belt. But if they know that you are able to perform these orders correctly, then boom, yeah. I think that'll work. And I've talked to them and I've shared my idea with some of them, and they're like, okay, well, yeah, if you get them to that level, then yeah, I don't see a reason why we can't, you know, work with them and have them, you know, do some orders for us. So that's the goal. And then then the Ron thing, we got to make sure people doing stuff correctly with the Ron, not taking shortcuts, understanding what they're doing, all of that. And it's just going to make the notary. The end result is this: if we don't start regulating ourselves, other people going to come in and regulate us. And the way they're going to regulate us, we may not like it. We may not like what they institute on us, because you do not want the lender to say, okay, well, this is how it's going to be done now. The lenders, because they got the money. The lenders got the money, and if they start pushing money out there, like one title company told me, if you don't do these, if you don't do ... they're going to take business from us. And before we let that happen, we're going to blacklist you. And I was like, okay, got it. They said, well, and they told me, they said, this is how we want you to operate in dealing with this lender. And if you can do this, you good. If you can't, anymore. And I was like, okay, understand. And then I had a decision to make. And I went and did some research, talked to the NNA. They told me, okay, well, yeah, the way that they're asking you to do it is a viable option to keep you from breaking notarial law. So yeah, you can go with that. I said, all right, cool. But if the NNA had told me, nah, nope, don't do it, then I would have been like, okay, I guess I won't be doing no more work for y'all. But they said it was cool, and I still been doing work for that company, and everything has been fine. Yeah, stuff. We got Ebony Lot done popped on over here on the Instagram and everything. So Amy is in 4,666 cities. We won't say states because we know she's not in that many states, but it's probably the states that she's in equals to about 4,667 cities across the U.S. where people can do online notarizations with Cyberize It, So, and see, what I'm trying to do is at the end of this month, I'm trying to take a week off so I can finish the Cyberize It training and other training that I've done and all of that, So, and see, for me, it's been like, wow, it's been busy because these companies don't want to use the new notaries. So they've been calling me up and asking me to take on more work because they're skittish. And I'm like, man, I want to take a break, So once I hit my threshold, I'm like, man, I just want to chill. But they're like, hey, and they start throwing them dollars, and it's like, all right,
You are preaching. Oh my gosh. I am so there.
Have you taken any runs on there yet?
No, not yet. Not yet. Now, what were you saying, Amy?
I totally agree with what you're saying. I get that every day. All of my dedicated clients, they don't want me to hand them off to another notary, even though I don't have time to sit and go through and do all of it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want no one else. They'll reschedule versus me reschedule with someone else. And, it is what it is. I built that trust. I built that foundation, which is awesome because, that means we've done a great job. That's what it means. And these people expect perfection, and that's what we give. And when we do that, we build that client base. That's how I get referrals. That's how I get word of mouth. That's how you get referrals and word of mouth, because they know if they come to us, they're going to get 100% on board legit transaction within the realms that they're able to accommodate. And when we try to hand it off, they're like, oh, no, I'll wait.
Mm-hmm.
That closing doesn't have to happen today. No, we can do it next week. No worries.
Yeah, because, and see, that's good. So if you have the signing company and if you have a lender that's like, oh, Griff can't do that. Okay, no, you know what? We'll tell them, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, the underwriter found something that we can't close today, but don't worry, we'll give you a credit. We'll work with you and we'll give you a credit or something. We'll take the closing costs down a little bit, because this is, Amy, this is the number one thing that I learned. And all of y'all listen to me on this here, even though I probably should have said this sooner, but hour 16 minutes. I always get the best thoughts of after I've been on here for like an hour. So I know people are like, Griff algorithm thing. He don't be saying all the good stuff in the beginning. So when I realized that the most important thing for these entities that's in this mortgage process is that they get that deed recorded. That is the most important thing. And if you can do what you do and to ensure that that deed gets recorded, you're golden to them. They love you. That's what's most important, people. If you can do what you need to do in order to get the deed recorded, they love you. They will be all over you left and right. Yes, I know a lot of people like the smooths and chuck and all of that and the water cooler talk and everything. That's all that's nice. But you got to realize the moment you can't do your job right, all that water cooler talk, all of that our kids play on the same soccer team goes out the window and they're gonna be like, look, we don't need you no more. Get your little butt out of here. So I'm saying, now that's really the reality of it. So my focus is making sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do as a notary correctly so that they know that, okay, we know that Griff got it. If there's a problem, he's going to reach out to the title company. He's going to reach out to the signing company. He's going to talk to the borrowers, all of that. When orders get canceled, let's just say like yesterday I had an order. It was supposed to happen at 4:00. 3:30 came, no docs. I called the guy and said, hey, no docs. But as soon as I get them, I'll let you know. 4:30 came, still no documents. And I had a signing at 5:30. I was like, there's no way this is going to work for me. So I contacted the company, let them know. They said, hey, thank you. And I said, if you want, I can let him know. They said, yeah, go ahead and let him know. And the way that I respond to it, I tell the customer when I have to come off of an order, I say, we are going to make sure that we get a notary out there to take care of you. I say, rest assured, you're going to be taken care of. We're going to make sure we get a notary out there that's going to accommodate your time period and everything. And I say that even with a TBD. So I'll take a TBD order. And then when I call them, I'm saying, okay, well, I'm available at 10 a.m. And they're like, well, no, I ain't available till 3, but I got an order at 3. I say, not a problem at all. Hey, what's going on, Mary? I say, not a problem. We'll make sure that we get you a notary out there that's going to accommodate you for the time period that you want. And then I contact the title company or the signing company and say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Jones says that they're only available at 3 p.m. Unfortunately, I have a 2:31. I'm not going to be able to accommodate that and everything. And I informed them that we'll find another notary that can, work with them at that time. And they're like, okay, cool. That's how you do it. And now, will the owner of the company ever hear me or hear that from me? Probably not. But the scheduler, they like, okay, well, we know that Griff isn't going to just be like, I ain't going to be there. Bye. I mean, that's what some notaries are doing. Hey, yeah, I'm off the order because I'm booked and I got other things to do and I got to pick up some kids and I got to go grocery shopping. So I ain't going to be able to do it. All right, bye. No, I can't do 3 o'clock. I can only do 10. Bye. Okay. I don't know if they're going to find somebody. I'm hoping they find somebody, and I'm hoping that the notary who they find is a good one, because I'm actually putting my word out there like that notary is going to take good care of you. They're going to take good care of you, and I'm hoping that notary does. But I'd rather just step out on faith and say it because the signer is already tense. They're like, wait a minute, the document's not here. And the guy was like, well, I got documents. I said, no, they gave you a watered down version for you just to review. Because he was like, I got some papers here that you can sign. And I was like, no, I can't sign those. I said, that ain't going to work, man. He was like, oh, okay. He said, so is it going to close? I said, I can't say what it's going to close, but I can tell you they're working to make sure that this does happen. And if it's not, they're going to contact you and keep you in the loop. All right, man, that's all I needed to hear. And then they're good. So now they can review and say something positive about you, rather than if the signing company does call them and say, hey, Mr. Jones, yeah, sorry about the other notary. Well, no, the other notary, he told me that y'all going to work with me and find me a good notary and everything. So now that's what they heard from the signer say about me. It's like, okay, this guy's professional. See, this is where your mind needs to be at, but everybody's mind, and I know people get upset when I say that. A lot of people, your mind is too much on trying to market yourself. But when it comes time for things like this, you're like a deer in the headlights. You're like, oh, ooh. See, when I'm always thinking about what can I say to the customer to calm them down when they're spazzing out, because my Canva advertisement on Facebook doesn't mean anything to them, because I'm right there and it's like, look, I've been trying to get this loan closed for 3 weeks, and every time I turn around, it's been what's going to happen? Am I not going to? Don't worry, we're going to take care of you. Let me call them and talk to them. And you got to calm them down. And see, if that's not your focus, if your focus is, okay, I need to get to the next order, you don't care nothing about where you're at. You got to care about where you're at. You can't be caring about the 5 o'clock order when you're at 3 o'clock. You got to care about this order here and make sure that the folk here are confident and comfortable and at ease. Then you're good. You see, that's really where it's at, you know.
Griff, I gotta say, I work in the world of electronic, okay? And that right there, making it personable, making it about them is huge, because that's where you get the engagement from the client. Because we're over a Zoom. I don't meet them in person. They don't know who I am. I am somebody on the other end of the world, because most of my clients are overseas.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know me. They don't know nothing about me. And they don't care if it fits in my timeline. That this is, they're 12, 13 hours ahead of me. So if I'm able to accommodate a 6 a.m. signing, and that is actually 7 p.m. their time, they think that is phenomenal, because I'm working around them. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what you've got to do. And I'm going to backtrack just a couple of minutes here, because I saw a couple of comments before I had to run before. One,
go for it.
New York does not have RON laws yet, so I can't do anything until they have RON. There's just nothing I can do. There was another comment. Oh, I don't recall what it was exactly, but there was another comment about remote online notarization. Here's what I'm going to tell you. If you go into RON, whatever platform you're in, I don't care which one it is. I want you to use the one that works best for you. But you've got to know how to break it.
Mm-hmm.
Learn how to break it so that when your client breaks it, you know how to fix it. Because not everyone's going to jump off of whatever they're doing to go and help you. Not every platform has that tech support. So the reason I jumped off earlier, we had a client having issue with the KBA questions. We were able to fix it. And then I jumped back on. But not every platform is going to do that. So if you're going to go into RON, know how to break it, because that will make a huge benefit for you with your clients.
Was this the question that's up here? Are there
I
any
don't know if there was a question. Oh, okay. That was it. Yes. So as far as, there's 3 types of RON platforms. Okay. So there's one that is like Notarize, where they hire you, you do all of their work, you bring nothing to the table other than your credentials. Okay. Then there's the type where you do all of the work and they only provide the software. So you've got the employer type based, and you've got the complete independent type based. Mine falls into the hybrid. Mine allows you to bring clients, but clients connect to you from your website. So as far as, is there any other company similar to Notarize? The short answer is no. They're the only employer type based platform that's out there, but you're limited to the 6 states in which they offer it. So they don't offer it in all of the states that they're open. So they actually are open in 23 states, but they only onboard notaries in 6. Now, they have your bring your own transaction, which is in Tennessee and Washington. Those notaries do not get leads from Notarize. They have to bring their own clients. They are an independent platform for them. So understand what your options are with Notarize. Those are every state is different. Now, if you're in a state that Notarize is legal in, that just means Notarize has a client who has their own dedicated notaries for those transactions. They
Gotcha.
don't farm those transactions out to the notaries on their platform, and they don't allow the independent notaries to have access to that. So they don't onboard. I'll give a for instance, like in Indiana, Notarize is approved, but you can't sign up with Notarize in Indiana yet, because right now they don't have the client base to substantiate bringing more notaries in that state on board.
Gotcha.
Now,
Okay.
they have a client in Indiana, so that's why they got approved.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the difference. My platform is complete hybrid. It is mostly bring your own transaction, but you can get work from the platform if you're online. There's
Gotcha.
no criteria, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. If you're online, you get it. Okay. So that there, like I said at the very beginning, every single platform's different. You've really got to understand what you want to do and where you want to grow in order to find a platform that's going to work perfect for you. So I think that covered a couple of questions I saw earlier.
Man, that's perfect. Yeah. And that's really what it's all about. I mean, I've always said, stop trying to look for the cookie cutter approach to stuff. Learn the way it's supposed to be, and then you can actually move from there. Because at some point in time, you always got to go back to the foundation. And just like, I don't know if any of y'all into computers, but like me as a web developer, no matter how fancy any website is, the base of every website is the HTML programming language. That is the base. And the reason why I did so well as, out there when I was working was because I understood the base language that made everything go. And all of these other fancy languages, they're just a fancier way to auto generate the base code. So you don't have to do it yourself. But with the problem that people will have is that they will auto generate it, but when they needed to fix something or to tweak something, they could never do it. So then they were like, yo, Griff, can you do it? So that's where I made my money, because I actually could go in there and did not have a problem manually going in there and hand coding stuff to make it work. Other people are like, nah, that's beneath me. It's just like sounding like some of the stuff I hear with the notaries. Nah, that's beneath me. I don't hand code anything. I don't, no. If I can't punch 2 or 3 buttons and it, boom, I don't mess with it. I'm like, okay. But when you out in the field and you don't have sufficient internet to get back to the server, you got to be able to manually do it. And that is what made me so valuable out there, is that I was able to manually and had no problem manually doing it. So many of you have the ability to do notary the correct way. You just won't do it the correct way. So that's the question you got to ask yourself. First, do I have the ability to do it the way it's supposed to be done in accordance with my state laws? If the answer is yes, now the question is, are you willing to do it? If you're not willing to do it correctly, you see what I'm saying? Then why are you even doing this? And that's why I tell notaries all the time, then you might as well just go ahead on and bounce out. You know what I'm saying? Just go on and bounce out of this business, because if you don't desire to do it right, go for it.
Oh, I am like on board, but you just brought on a comment there, and Robin has a great point.
Mm-hmm.
So Robin, yes, if you are billing a client for Ron, it's not financially rewarding for general notary work. But that's why my platform, now approved in Maryland, allows you to bill through my platform, which then eliminates that limit of $4. So check us out. We definitely can help you so that you can make $25 for that one signature instead of 4. So anyway, I wanted to bring that up. That's another aspect. When you're looking at the laws, You can't be pigeonholed or bread boxed into this is what's allowed. It's not about what's allowed. It's about how you think about what's allowed. For instance, with Ron, okay? Griffin, you're in Virginia?
Yep.
Okay. So let's consider New Jersey, because New Jersey's worse than Maryland. All right?
Okay.
New Jersey only allows $2.50 for a Ron transaction.
Mm.
Okay. So thank you. And if you were to do a Ron transaction at minimum, even a per transactional cost, if you're looking at just like one notary where you don't have to pay a monthly fee, you're going to pay $13 for that transaction, right? Okay, come on, agree with me because I know I'm right. Okay.
That's correct.
So you're at a cost of $13, no matter what you can charge that client. Now, if you look at the laws state the notary can only charge blah amount.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't say anything about a third-party provider.
Correct.
So by flipping the switch and billing through the platform, you can now recoup your costs incurred with that transaction without violating the law. So it's really about understanding the limits of the law and what the law entails for your state. And that will help you become profitable.
Gotcha. Yeah. And see, like Virginia, we can do $25 per e-notary stamp.
Right. But then that includes your technology fee, because unlike Florida, Florida says they can charge $25 plus a technology fee. So a one stamp in Georgia or in Virginia would be $25. A one stamp in Florida could be $33. But at the end of the day, anyone could go to Notarize or One Notary and get it for $25.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to show how your talents make it profitable to charge more. So like in my platform, a one stamp document is $36.99. Now, that being said, we offer the ability that if a client doesn't get KBA questions, we will help them get to the point where they can notarize that document legally.
Gotcha.
We step in the corporate headquarters here, myself, me, and I.
Mm-hmm.
We look at every time somebody doesn't get questions. And the first thing I do is I refund that transaction.
Okay.
And now I'm looking at why didn't they get questions? Are they a foreigner? Are they 18 years old? Are they homeless? Those make a difference with Ron. And I don't want to turn it about that, but what I'm trying to say is no matter what avenue you're looking at with notarial acts, you have to be looking at all of the options. When you pigeonhole your mind into this is all I can do, all I do is validate your signature and sign on the line, and that's it, you'll never be successful.
Right.
You have to be able to look at those options and build upon those options. When you are able to create those solutions in a legal manner, you will be invaluable. And that's how I grew my business, within the laws, within the regulations, within the conformities of whatever I was allowed to charge. But by offering solutions that were unorthodox but legal. If you're able to look at something and go, you know what, Griff? Your signer is a foreign national and they have no ability to do KBA questions.
Right.
So let's see. Montana can do ID credentialing and biometrics instead of KBA.
Okay.
Or Virginia can. Or if you wanted to go with KBA questions, Ohio can do credible witness bypass.
Gotcha.
Offering solutions to your
Mm-hmm.
client will be huge. And I could speak on this for hours, so I won't like, kick it while it's down. But it goes in line with what you're saying is what I'm getting at is no matter what type of industry or what line of notarial or branching out of notarial acts that you're doing, you're only going to be successful if you look at the opportunities and not the restrictions. And I think
Right.
that's kind of where you were going, right?
Yeah, yeah, because that's why I always tell people, I say, stop making restrictions or stop restricting stop restricting your ability to make money. Stop restricting your ability to make money. You're like, well, I would do it, but all these notaries out here. Okay, but you done spent $3,000 in getting into business. Now you got to find a way to make it happen. I would do it if this was going on and that was going on, even from the standpoint of, well, I would do it, but I can only work with signing companies. I want to work direct. Okay, that's nice, but you got to work with who's willing to pay you. I mean, here in Virginia, trying to get direct with these companies is difficult because they got in-house notaries. So I'm like, okay, I will work with who's willing to pay me. And they're paying me the money that I need in order for me to be full-time entrepreneur over 12 months now. So apparently that is working. Now, do I understand and have in the back of my mind, front of my mind, that all of a sudden these signing companies could dry up? Yeah, but see, the other side of the house is this. Every time you turn around, there's some notary that somewhat thinks that they have management ability and can handle people, and they start a signing company. And there was a signing company that I heard about. If you recognize what the thing that I'm doing here, that was the name of the company. I'm not going to say it, so you may know it, but they out of business because they weren't paying notaries. You see, and as I've always said, there are people. You as a person, if you was trying to be slick as a notary, you're going to be double, triple slick as a signing company owner. If you didn't have integrity as a notary to do closings, you're going to be way without integrity when it comes to having a signing company, because that's who you are. That's a part of you. And just because you become a signing company doesn't mean all of a sudden you're going to be a person who does things in integrity and with respect and above reproach. No, you're going to continue to do things in whatever shortcut illegal manner that you can, because you was already trying to get over in the first place, and you're just going to bring that over into the realm in which you are now, which is a signing company. And then here's what's funny that I've been finding out is that there's a lot of people who I've heard talk about how they don't like doing scan backs and all this printing and all of that stuff. But now they're starting signing companies, and that's the first thing they say you have to do. So when you was a notary, you was talking smack about doing signing. I mean, scan backs and late docs and all of this. And now you are running a signing company, and guess what? You're demanding that these notaries do scan backs and this, that, and the other. And you're saying even if the borrower, I mean, the lender doesn't require it or the title doesn't require it, you, the signing company, are requiring it. Why? Because your reputation is online now. Your reputation is at stake. So now you're saying, oh, no, you got to do this. So that's why I'm saying that's where the disingenuousness comes to me, is like, okay, when you was out there in the field, you was talking all this smack. And then now you over here in the corporate office of being a signing company, and you want to be with all these lenders. Now you're talking about, yeah, that's right, we need to make them notaries do their job. They ain't going to have that now. They're going to do that. Okay, so you're phony, and then I've been hearing that some signing companies, they won't hire certain notaries that took training with them or took the same training they took, because that training they took taught notaries how to backdoor signing companies. So why would I hire somebody who took the same training that I took, the backdoor signing company, and have you backdooring me? No, I ain't hiring you. I mean, that is what's going on, people. So you got to open your eyes and mind and realize what the heck is going on out here, and you got to make a way for yourself. Collaborate with people, but be mindful of who you really truly depend on. You know, there's some people you can depend on, but there's a lot of people you can collaborate with to get things done. But you got to have people got to prove their trust with you. They got to prove that they have integrity. They got to prove that they're going to do what is right when every opportunity to do something wrong presents itself to them. That's what this is all about, and that's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. And again, it's not designed to stop y'all from spending money with these folks. I'm just saying, if you ever had to file bankruptcy, they're gonna question where you're spending your money. I found out real quick. They're like, if you spend $5,000 or more, you have to report it to the bankruptcy trustee, because they want to know why you're spending that money. They said if you spending money under that, you got it. They like, okay, you don't have to, but if you start spending too much and you wind up getting back in the same situation you're trying to get out of, you got to give justification. You see what I'm saying? So even now with the new IRS rules, they're tracking people's money even more. So you need to be able to justify, and primarily to your spouse, to your family, that okay, yeah, I'm spending more and more money over here with these people to get work, but the work's not coming. And that's really where I'm at with all of this. So my goal is to help y'all get to a point where you can think for yourself, not rely on these people who you just so happen to meet in a clubhouse meeting or Facebook, all of that. That no sooner than you talk to them, they're like, I got this thing you can buy. Look, this eggnog, if you drink this egg, you buy this eggnog from me, it will help you get all kind of orders from Amy. Amy, if you drink this eggnog, or you want to get good with Amy, buy this eggnog from me and then go present it to Amy and give it to Amy as a gift when you go to her signing company or title company. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that we're doing. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that. But anybody would tell you, if all of that stuff you're doing doesn't net you some kind of revenue, something's wrong. Now you got to rethink your approach, and that's that. I mean, that's really it. And I know sometimes, I know I probably sound like a broken record, but people are asking, people are still saying, tell y'all do that. Now, somebody asked, what is CEMA, CEMA? Do you know what that means? Did you say anything about CEMA, Amy? I don't remember saying something about.
I didn't, but I'm Googling it.
That is a good.
Oh, it's a SEMA loan. So it's a consolidation extension modification agreement.
Oh, you know what? I did one of those. Yeah. Okay. Now that I look at it, I see, because I had Googled it. It didn't click in until, because the link that I clicked on to understand it is purple, saying that I went to this link, and it was something from New York. Yeah. Let me. Yeah. This here is this SEMA loan. There it is. Consolidated Extension Modification Agreement. Yeah. Yeah, I did one of these about a month ago, and my goodness, it was a beast, because there were certain pages. They had like multiple notes, multiple deeds in there that had to be copied. It was like this whole little process where they gave me one file, but that file had to be printed. Certain parts of the file had to be printed 3 times and 4 times and 5 times, and each one had to be signed. So yeah. So what it is, as it says right here, and let Shayna come on up in here. What's going on, lady?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
I'm in I just got out of a signing, so I'm in the car right now, but I wanted to hop on. Caprenta's not the only one who can get online sometime. I can get on too.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm in upstate New York, and one of the first large loan packages I did was a SEMA. It's about 250 to 300 pages. It can be overwhelming, especially for a new notary, but it can be done. You just have to double check all your work, and it has like 2 or 3 notes, 2 or 3 mortgages, but it can be done. And I was able to execute it flawlessly, so much that the firm that hired me to do the closing emailed me yesterday and told me they were going to make me one of their preferred notaries. So that was exciting. But it's not overwhelming. It can be overwhelming, but once you get through about half of the package, it's fairly easy.
Yeah. Once I understood how they want, what was overwhelming was the printing part of it. I couldn't
That
figure.
too.
Yeah, because instead of just giving me everything they want, like, okay, just recopying this document the 4 or 5 times, it was like, okay, print this document 3 times, then print this one 4 times, now print this one 5 times. And I'm sitting here like, I could have just put the same thing, copying it. So what I ended up doing was I said, okay, what they want 3 times, copied and pasted, made 3 copies inside of it. And then this you want 4 times, this you want 5 times. And then they had a couple things they wanted twice. And then I just printed everything. And then I sat there and sorted it all out. And it was like, all right, cool, we good. So yeah, SEMA. Yeah, I forgot all about that thing until they started, I looked it up. Yeah. So I didn't have, and what was weird, the couple who did it, all right, Amy, take it easy now. The couple who did it, they actually they had 2 loans that day, but was having 2 different notaries come and do it. So I was like, okay. I was like, man, I could have made me some serious cash on this, and they was upset because they was like, why do we got to have 2 notaries do this? And I was like, I don't know, ma'am. I was like, I don't know. So yeah. So everything been going good with you?
Everything is going good. I just wanted to give a shout out to you and Caprentice. Actually, something I discussed with you guys during the members chat was that I was having difficulty with this one signing company that I'm not going to mention, and I was nervous about it because the signer didn't want to sign. So Caprentice was right. You can't believe everything that you see online, that you see in the Facebook groups. You really have to go off your own experience with the signing agencies, because they were very nice and understanding. And once the signer spoke with her bank, I think it was just a communication issue. She called me today and she was really excited and wanted to sign the loan modification. And I still had her documents. I didn't shred them yet because I just wasn't sure how it was going to go. So I actually was the first point of contact to let the signing agency know that we were proceeding with the signing. So I just want to give a shout out to you guys because I appreciate that. I was feeling pretty demoralized that day I told that story, and I was kind of beating myself up just because I've been doing this for about 6 months now, and I haven't been as successful as other notaries, but I also have been more successful than some of the newer notaries. So I'm trying to take it in stride and listen to some of the advice that you guys are giving, and just make sure that I continue to execute the documents flawlessly, because at the end of the day, all you have is your reputation. You can actually prove these signing agencies wrong, that even though you're a new notary, you can still just be as professional as some of the veteran notaries. So I just wanted to share that with you guys and tell the new notaries that don't lose hope, because I was almost there. I was almost ready to bow out. I literally took money out of my 401k to start this business, and it wasn't going the way that I wanted it to go. And I'm starting to see a change now. Like, I'm starting to get more notifications where it's not just a blast, but they're actually sending it directly to me. Now, whether or not I can do it because I work full time, that's another thing. But just to know that people are reaching out directly to me as opposed to just sending it to all the notaries in the area, that makes me feel a little bit better. So I'm going to stay positive, and I hope some of the newer notaries stay positive as well, because especially they're right. These last 2 weeks of the month, notaries must be canceling on these orders, because I'm getting notifications for last minute signings, especially when the weather is bad, or once I get the loan package, and I kind of understand why it was canceled on, honestly, because these are large packages. But if you watch Griff's printing video, it kind of puts it all in perspective for you, that you're not really spending as much money in ink and printer costs if you plan accordingly, if you order your paper when it's on sale, if you order ink when it's on sale, and if you have a efficient printer, it can be done. And also keep an eye out on the marketplace, because people are selling their electronics right now for one reason or another. So you might be able to find a cheap printer that's used. So I just wanted to hop on and say that. That's about it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna answer this last question. It was Clayton asked about, do you need to get your bond before you know if you're even approved to become a notary in your state? Said, I only asked because what if you by chance you don't get approved to become a notary and you're just out of that money you spent to get insured and bonded? That's a good question. Yeah, see, that's where you got to make sure your background is straight for us. What is that? You know, no felonies. I mean, no bad traffic issues, things of that nature, and you'll be okay. You'll be good to go. Somebody just sent an order, so I'm checking to see if I even got time to do it. See where I can do it. I'm gonna say yes, since it's a TBD. As I always say, people, if you get an order that says TBD, to be determined, that's what that means. Take it and then talk to the signer to see if you can coordinate a time. Don't sit there. What is this? TBD? Nah. Take the TBD. Just take it. Don't worry about it. But as far as you need to just make sure, I don't know. That's a good question about what happens if you've already bought the stuff? I guess you can get your money back, but then what you can do is just ask the company that you're getting insured and bonded from, can I get my money back? I mean, that's really a question you would have to ask them. Yeah, that's a question you would have to ask them. So that's about it. All right, party people. We've been on here almost 2 hours. And like I said, my baby came back. It is back. That apple fritter done rolled up in here like a big dog. So my apple fritters are back. Dunkin' Donut made a mistake trying to get rid of them. They're here. So look, I was thinking, yeah, we got 2 more Fritter Fridays for the year. I was going to not do them, but I thought Christmas and New Year's was actually on Fridays, but those are Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So I'll probably do a real quick short one next Friday and on New Year's Eve, and everything. But I just want to say, you know, if for some reason I don't do them next week, I just want to tell each and every one of you, I appreciate y'all so much. And Griffin Notary Services is going to do everything we can to help you get to a point to where you're getting the orders on a more consistent basis. We're gonna work, and I'm going to do everything I can to figure out what needs to be done to help you get work. I don't know how it's going to look. I really don't. But this is just something that I really feel that is in me, because I'm for the people, okay? And y'all might say, man, you sound like Kwame Brown and all that, but that's just me always. I'm for the people. I'm not about trying to chase money through people. I'm trying to help people make money, because the more money y'all make, the more you're able to go out here and do these closings correctly, the more opportunity it affords me to continue to do this, because then it removes all those restrictions. If everybody's is doing the stuff correctly, there's no need for the companies to be like, well, I ain't picking nobody unless you got 200 signings and 500 years of experience. But they put restrictions out there to mitigate issues that they have. So now it's a time to fix the issues. And I've identified them, and I'm going to help fix them. Okay. So I don't know fully how it's going to look, but I got a good plan, and I'm going to be spending the next couple of weeks working on that and part of January, and hopefully by end of January, maybe February, get it done. And I know, and it's gonna work. It's gonna work. I have a good feeling that it's gonna work out for everybody and everything. So, who was just talking about things good since been eating more cinnamon rolls? I definitely agree. Oh, and stuff. So, other than that, if y'all have any questions, hit me up in the comment section. Feel free to share the video, like it. Look, if you haven't liked the video, because there's not too many likes on the video, I don't really look to do that. 20 likes, that's good. Okay, we good. 20 likes. But the bottom line is, y'all, let's do this business and let's do it right. Okay. Y'all have a good one. I'll talk to y'all later, and I'm going to be doing some more training videos on the member side and for the non-member side that I have planned, and I think y'all gonna like them. All right, talk to y'all later. Peace.